you're from the Philippines and residing in a city or close to it, and used to just seeing buildings and traffic, once you visit El Nido, you'll most likely will be in awe. For a first-timer, that's exactly was my reaction when I first saw the cliffs with clouds above it, which sets the tone of the great things ahead for an El Nido tour. El Nido is a town in northern Palawan, and the usual way to reach it is to board a domestic flight to Puerto Princesa, then take a grueling 5-hour van ride. Good news is our tour happened in 2017, and presently, there are flights now to San Vicente Airport, which is only over an hour van ride away from El Nido. Later on, you won't have to worry about getting contacts for the tour, as there are lots of flyers you can pick up at the airport, and the van terminal to El Nido is just a tricycle or trike ride away from the airport. The only way to take a 5-hour van ride is to sleep. We only had one stop, and it's on a resto with a small pond in it. When I saw signs that we are on the town of El Nido already, I just can barely hide my excitement, especially when I saw the towering cliffs within the town. We didn't book an accommodation beforehand as we went there on a rainy season. That means it's lean season in the Philippines, and there would be lots of vacant rooms for tourists. We did find a great deal and paid 1,400 pesos a day instead of over 3,000 pesos for this room. And a tip, book a hotel with power generator, as I'm not sure if it's still happening, but before, power interruptions are normal in El Nido, which last hours. It's late afternoon already when we arrived. That means no island tours available anymore. So we just took a walk around town. And there are a bunch of stores, eateries, restos, hostels, pension houses. Lots of construction going on. And dogs everywhere. We ended up the day with a dinner in a turo-turo, where you'll choose the raw meat or fish, then choose what type of dish, and they'll cook it for you. The sunset is not best viewed on the main port of El Nido, but it gives a good shade of it, that the whole sky turned to this kind of blue. And add the already amazing view of the bay. Our first day ended just like that. The island or boat tours. This is the reason why people flock to El Nido and recommended for first-timers to go to those spots we've been yearning to see from photos and videos we see online. It's on our hotel's contact where we book our tour, and almost every hotel or house near the beach or bay offers island tours and other activities and rentals. For the island tours, there are tours A to D, and most popular are tours A and C, which you can get on one package tour or separate. We chose to have a separate tour for A and C to have more time on each spot. For this day, it's Tour C. And you know how packed boats are on island tours. And on this one, we are only 5 tourists on the boat. That usually seats around 20. Once you get past the bay, all you'll see on the way are huge, amazing cliffs. Only a few places in the Philippines I've seen with this kind of setting. Coron, Isla Gigantes in Iloilo, and Zambales, but nothing as huge and as many in numbers like in El Nido, and it's a sight worth seeing. First spot scheduled on Tour C is Helicopter Island, an island shaped like its name, has a nice beach and nice view from the side. And main activity here is snorkeling, but we only saw a few fish in the area, or might be because most tourists were cramped up on one spot. The boat captain suggested we have our lunch early as the other spots were too crowded. We had our lunch in Talisai Beach, which is also our second stop, and this one has a small beach and a towering cliff around it, and you have a great panoramic view in front, which makes this a great place for relaxing after an epic lunch. We also did some snorkeling here, but we only have a small space to swim around as it goes way deep real quick. Next stop, we went to Madin Lok Shrine. This shrine was built in the 80s and it's only ruins nowadays. Here you can climb a small cliff and from the top have a great overlooking view of the islands around. Next, we went to the hidden beach, and our tour guide mentioned the whole place was rented by the popular TV show Survivor, but not the US version. And because of that, the place was off limits to tourists for a few months, so our timing was perfect. This spot is amazing except that it was too crowded. You'll walk on sand with knee-deep waters, then on both sides you have heavily nature architectured cliffs. And once inside, you'll see the small hidden beach. Last stop of the day and is the farthest is Secret Beach. Now, this will be a bit of a task for some to go inside as you have to jump to the sea 10 meters deep. Then you'll have to swim or dive inside a short tunnel, depending on the tide. And once you're inside, the secret has been unlocked by a bunch of other tourists. A bit anticlimactic on what you can see inside, and actually going in and out of the secret beach is a lot more fun. So that completes our tour C, and we head back to town. For our dinner, we ended up on the same resto as our first day. So here's a story. While we were choosing our next meal, there was a vendor trying to sell us pearls. The guy seemed uninterested on what he was doing and was quite irritated when we kept on bargaining. We did small talk, his mood changed, and everything went lighter. He called his younger sister who also sells pearls, and we found out they are bajaus, Now, Bajaos in the Philippines are sea nomads who dwell mostly in coastal areas of South Philippines. But if you're from Metro Manila or its neighboring provinces, they now are more known to be people asking alms using their improvised instruments, usually in public vehicles. They get discriminated just by being a Bajau, so it's not hard to feel for these guys. As the conversation went longer, we tried to find a way to help them a bit. And since my girlfriend really likes pearls, we just bought a lot from them. And we ended up buying 9,000 worth of pearls using money intended for our trip. Because of that, we shaved off tours B and D from our plans, which we don't regret. I'm just bad with names and forgot theirs, but the Bajau lad gave us discounts as he was so happy as we were the only ones who bought from them the whole day. And it was night already when we met them, and they haven't eaten yet since morning. So that might explain why he was a bit grumpy when he was selling and I was bargaining. Now, since they gave discounts and we were happy seeing them happy, and we want them to feel happier and also for them to keep their earning for the day and not to spend for food anymore for the night, it's only appropriate to treat them dinner. Most restos in El Nido prohibit vendors, and we had to talk to the staff to allow them inside. I asked the Bajau siblings to choose what they want to eat, but they were too shy to make a choice, so I just decided what we'll have for dinner. Lobster, prawns, and tanige fish. I told them it's the first time we'll be eating lobster, so we'll be selfish and take the whole lobster. Then we will split the prawns and the whole tanige dish is theirs. You can tell how it's a totally different experience for them, that they can barely move, and we had to candidly remind them that we are there to eat. The younger Bajau girl was so appreciative that she gave me a bracelet with Palawan engraved on it that she doesn't sell, which I still have up until now. The dinner ended with the Bajau siblings barely eating anything, as they were, again, just really too shy and just kept smiling the whole time. We just had them take out the tanige fish and the prawn, which they quickly agreed, as they want to share it with their father. Their father works as a crew on a boat tour, and I suggested the Bajau lad why not do the same instead of selling pearls, and he said he gets dizzy on boats, which might be unusual for a Bajau. He then mentioned that selling pearls is only temporary, as during the Christmas season, they go back to asking for alms. I then said that what they're doing selling pearls is actually good. Why go back asking alms? And he just replied with silence. I wanted to know the answer, but I didn't push anymore for it not to spoil the good vibes and their night. The night still ended well, except for the brief silence, and I told them I'll look for them tomorrow again so we can have dinner, and they agreed and replied with a genuine smile. I also told the Bajau lad to go to our hotel in the morning so I can give him some of my t-shirts because he mentioned he only has one t-shirt for him. They couldn't be any more happier that night. The same could be said to us sharing that experience with them. If only I can give more. Yeah, because financially, I can't. These guys walk the streets and beach of El Nido every day to sell, and they're steps away from entering restos, but they are a glimpse too far from experiencing what it's like to dine in a place where people enjoy and where they are driven away.